Mataji. I am traveling and will not be able to join today. Could you please continue to read
Okay.
and discuss points?
Okay. Okay.
So it's on us now.
Okay, ma'am.
So what shall we do? Ninth chapter we completed last.
We can read 10th chapter, maybe, and
Okay. Yeah, it's a short chapter, four pages like that. We can read and we can share.
okay.
Yeah, it's on 3 pages.
Okay.
All right.
Techniques of hearing and remembering. Start, Mataji.
Yeah, I'm just typing in the group so that everybody knows that what we are doing. Okay, I'm done there. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितां त्वां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता श्रीराधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चना गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे राम
Rama
राम
Hare Hare.
हरे बोल हरे कृष्णा वेलकम let's read 10th chapter then one by one. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6 of us. We will go by paragraph. Two paragraphs are devotee like that rotations. Then yeah, you go ahead and start, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Then Damodar Rati Mataji.
Okay. We are reading 10th chapter, Techniques of Hearing and Remembering. Hearing. The beginning of Krishna consciousness and devotional service is hearing. In Sanskrit, it's called Shravanam. All people should be given the chance to come and join devotional parties so that they may hear. This hearing is very important for progressing in Krishna consciousness. When one links his ears to give or reception to the transcendental vibration, he can quickly become purified and cleansed in the heart. Lord Chaitanya has affirmed that this hearing is very important. It cleanses the heart of a contaminated soul so that it becomes quickly qualified to enter the devotional service and understand Krishna consciousness. In the Garuda Purana, the stress on hearing is expressed very nicely. It is said there, the state of conditioned life in the material world is just like that of a man lying unconsciousness, having been bitten by a snake. This is because both such unconscious states can be ended by the sound of a mantra. When a man is snake bitten, he does not die immediately, but first becomes unconscious and remains in the comatose condition. Anyone who's in the material world is also sleeping, as he is ignorant of his actual self or his actual duty and his relationship with God. So, materialistic life means that one is bitten by the snake of Maya, illusion, and thus, without any Krishna consciousness, is almost dead. Now, the so-called dead man bitten by a snake can be brought back to life by the chanting of some mantra. There are expert chanters of these mantras who can perform this feat. Similarly, one can be brought back into Krishna consciousness from the deadly unconscious state of material life by hearing of the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
In the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, verse 40, the importance of hearing of the pastime of the Lord is stated by Sukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. My dear king, one should stay at a place where the great acharyas, holy teachers, speak about the transcendental activities of the Lord, and one should give oral reception to nectarian river flowing from the moon-like faces of such great personalities. If someone eagerly continues to hear such transcendental sounds, then certainly he will become freed from all material hunger, thirst, fear, and lamentation, as well as all illusions of material existence. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also recommended this process of hearing as a means of self-realization in the present age of Kali. In this age, it is very difficult to follow thoroughly the regulative principles and studies of the Vedas, which were formerly recommended. However, if one gives oral reception to the sound vibrated by great devotees and acharyas, and that alone will give him relief from all material contamination. Therefore, it is the recommendation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one should simply hear from authorities who are actually devotees of the Lord. Hearing from professional men will not help. If we hear from those who are actually self-realized, the nectarian rivers like those which are flowing on the moon planet will flow into our ears. This is the metaphor used in the above verse. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Rathayatra Prabhu, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I will read.
Two paragraphs, Prabhuji. Yeah.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita, a materialistic person can give up his material hankerings only by becoming situated in Krishna consciousness. Unless one finds a superior engagement, he will not be able to give up his inferior engagement. In the material world, everyone is engaged in illusory activities of inferior energy. But when one is given the opportunity to release the activities of superior energy performed by Krishna, then he forgets all his lesser pleasures. When Krishna speaks on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to the materialistic person, it appears that this is simply talk between two friends, but actually it is a river of nectar flowing down from the mouth of Sri Krishna. Arjuna gave oral reception to such vibrations, and thus he became freed from all the illusions of material problems. In the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, this third chapter, verse 15, it is stated, a person who desires unalloyed devotional service to the Lord Krishna, who is praised by transcendental sound vibrations, should always hear about his glorification and transcendental qualities. This will surely kill all kinds of inauspiciousness in the heart. Mataji.
Jai, thank you, Prabhuji. Shubhadra Rani Mataji, next section, 2 paragraphs.
Thank you, Mataji. Expecting the Lord's mercy. In the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 8, it is said, My dear Lord, any person who is constantly awaiting your causeless mercy to be bestowed upon him and who goes on suffering the resultant actions of his past misdeeds, offering you respectful obeisances from the core of his heart, is surely eligible to become liberated, for it has become his rightful claim. This statement of Srimad Bhagavatam should be the guide of all devotees. A devotee should not expect immediate relief from the reactions of his past misdeeds. No conditioned soul is free from such reactionary experiences because material existence means continued suffering or enjoying of past activities. If one has finished his material activities, then there is no more birth. This is possible only when one begins Krishna conscious activities, because such activities do not produce reaction. Therefore, as soon as one becomes perfect in Krishna conscious activities, he is not going to take birth again in this material world. A devotee who is not perfectly freed from the resultant actions should therefore continue to act in Krishna consciousness seriously, even though there may be so many impediments. When such impediments arise, he should simply think of Krishna and expect his mercy. That is the only solace. If a devotee passes his days in that spirit, it is certain that he is going to be promoted to the abode of the Lord. By such activities, he earns his claim to enter into the kingdom of God. The exact word used in this verse is Daya, sorry, Bhakt. The Daya Bhakt refers to a son's becoming the lawful inheritor of the property of the father. In a similar way, a pure devotee who is prepared to undergo all kinds of tribulations in executing Krishna consciousness duties becomes lawfully qualified to enter into the transcendental abode. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Shubhadra Rani Mataji. Tanya Mataji, would you like to read Remembrance? And
Mataji, I was wondering, are you going to discuss it in the end or do you want to discuss as we go?
At the end, it's three pages only, so we can read and then we can go back and go over.
Sure. Remembrance. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Some way or other, if someone establishes in his mind his continuous relationship with Krishna, this relationship is called remembrance. Do you want to hear what I'm saying? About this remembrance, there is a nice statement in the Vishnu Puran where it is said, simply by remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities become eligible for all kinds of auspiciousness. Therefore, let me always remember the Lord who is unborn and eternal. In the Padma Puran, the same remembrance is explained as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, because if someone remembers him either at the time of death or during his span of life, he becomes freed from all sinful reactions.
read the meditation first paragraph to Mataji.
Okay. Meditation. To meditate means to engage the mind in thinking of the form of the Lord, the qualities of the Lord, the activities of the Lord, and the service of the Lord. Meditation does not mean anything impersonal or void. According to the Vedic literature, meditation is always on the form of Vishnu. Do you want me to continue?
Yeah, read one more.
In Narsimha Puran, there is a statement about meditation on the form of the Lord. It is said here, meditation focusing on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been accepted as transcendental and beyond the experience of material pain and pleasure. By such meditation, even one who is grossly miscreant can be delivered from the sinful reactions of his life.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji. Did I miss anyone? Mani Prabhu, are you there? Okay, I will read next two paragraphs then. In the Vishnu Dharma, there is a statement about meditation on the transcendental qualities of the Lord. It is said, persons who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness and who remember the transcendental qualities of the Lord become free from all reactions to sinful activities. And after being so cleansed, they become fit to enter into the kingdom of God. In other words, no one can enter into the kingdom of God without being freed from all sinful reactions. One can avoid sinful reactions simply by remembering the Lord's form, qualities, pastimes, etc. In the Padma Purana, there is a statement about remembering the activities of the Lord. A person who is always engaged in meditation on the sweet pastimes and wonderful activities of the Lord surely becomes freed from all material contamination. I will read the next one also. In some of the Puranas, the evidence is given that if someone is simply meditating on devotional activities, he has achieved the desired result and has seen face to face the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this connection, there is a story in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana that in the city of Pratishtanapura in South India, there was once a Brahmana who was not very well to do, but who was nevertheless satisfied in himself, thinking that it was because of his past misdeeds and by the desire of Krishna that he did not get sufficient money and opulence. So he was not at all sorry for his poor material position, and he used to live very peacefully. He was very open hearted, and sometimes he went to hear some lectures delivered by great realized souls. At one such meeting, while he was very faithfully hearing about Vaishnava activities, he was informed that these activities can be performed even by meditation. In other words, if a person is unable to actually perform Vaishnava activities physically, he can meditate upon the Vaishnava activities and thereby acquire all of the same results. Because the Brahmana was not very well to do financially, he decided that he would simply meditate on grand royal devotional activities, and he began this business thus. Damodarati Mataji and Pandurang Prabhuji, you both can finish next two paragraphs.
Sometimes he would take his bath in the river Godavari. After taking his bath, he would sit in a secluded place on the bank of the river, and by practicing the yoga exercises of pranayama, the usual breathing exercise, he would concentrate his mind. These breathing exercises are meant to mechanically fix the mind upon a particular subject. That is the result of the breathing exercise and also of the different sitting postures of yoga. Formerly, even quite ordinary person used to know how to fix the mind upon the remembrance of the Lord. And so the Brahmana was doing this. When he had fixed the form of the Lord in his mind, he began to imagine in his meditations that he was dressing the Lord very nicely in costly clothing with ornaments, helmets, and other paraphernalia. When he offered his respectful obeisance by bowing down before the Lord. After finishing the dressing, he began to imagine that he was cleaning the temple very nicely. After cleaning the temple, he imagined that he had many water jugs made up of gold and silver, and he took all those jugs to the river and filled with the holy water. Not only did he collect water from the Godavari, but he collected from Ganges, Yamuna, Narmada, and Kaveri. Generally, a Vaishnava, while worshipping the Lord, collects water from all these rivers by mantra chanting. This Brahmana, instead of chanting some mantra, imagined that he was physically securing water from all these rivers in golden and silver water pots. Then he collected all kinds of paraphernalia for worship, flowers, fruits, incense, and sandalwood pulp. He collected everything to place before the deity. All these waters, flowers, and scented articles were then very nicely offered to the deities to their satisfaction. Then he offered arati, and with the regulative principles, he finished all these activities in the correct worshipping method. I will read the second paragraph. Taji. Two paragraphs, right, Mataji?
Yeah. Please, Prabhuji.
He would daily execute similar performance at his routine work, and he continued to do so for many, many years. Then one day the Brahmana imagined in his meditation that he had prepared some sweet rice with milk and sugar and offered the preparation to the deity. However, he was not very satisfied with the offering because the sweet rice had been prepared recently and it was still very hot. This preparation, sweet rice, should not be taken hot. The cooler the sweet rice, the better its taste. So, because of the sweet rice had been prepared by the Brahmana very recently, he wanted to touch it so that he could know whether it was fit for eating by the Lord. As soon as he touched the sweet pot with his finger, he immediately was burnt by the heat of the pot. In this way, his meditation broke. Now, when he looked at his finger, he saw that it was burnt, and he was wondering in astonishment how this could have happened. Because he was simply meditating on touching the hot sweet rice, he never thought that his finger would actually become burnt.
While he was thinking like this, in Vaikunta, Lord Narayana, seated with goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, began to smile humorously. On seeing this smiling of the Lord, all the goddesses of fortune attending the Lord became very curious and asked Lord Narayana why he was smiling. The Lord, however, did not reply to their inquisitiveness, but instead immediately sent for the Brahmana. An aeroplane sent from Vaikunta immediately brought the Brahmana into Lord Narayana's presence. When the Brahmana was thus present before the Lord and goddess of fortune, the Lord explained the whole story. The Brahmana was then fortunate enough to get an eternal place in Vaikunta in the association of the Lord and his Lakshmis. This shows how the Lord is all pervading in spite of his being locally situated in his abode. Although the Lord was present in Vaikunta, he was present also in the heart of Brahmana when he was meditating on the worshipping process. Thus, we can understand that things offered by the devotees, even in meditation, are accepted by the Lord and they help one achieve the desired result. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hari Bol. This chapter is very hope-giving chapter. Techniques of hearing and remembering. Hearing. As we heard, like hearing is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. In this section, it is nicely given an analogy how we are compared to a person bitten by snake. In the ancient method, by chanting the mantra, a person bitten by snake is revived. Similarly, we can be revived by Hare Krishna Mahamantra from this unconscious state of material life. And one more thing mentioned here is like wherever devotees speaking, their oral reception is like nectarian river flowing from the moon-like face. We take that opportunity and hear from them. And then another point mentioned is like hearing from professional men does not help. Hearing from devotees who have realized, who have been genuinely practicing, hearing from them helps. And Bhagavad Gita is such a talk between two friends, Krishna and Arjuna. Taking shelter of Bhagavad Gita also frees us from the illusions of these material problems. Yeah. So those are the points. If I missed anything, if anybody wants to talk about hearing more, please go ahead and share.
Yeah, right, sure. Yeah, I also remember. Say, if you take our examples, my example also say, say we didn't know about initially a lot of things. Just we go temple and worship, come back. But once we started going, once started hearing, then only the interest will develop. Once we got clear, right, our what is the devotional service, what is the purpose of life. Once that the initial ignorance gone, then we are committed to the Krishna consciousness, devotional service. So hearing is very important because we are, as said, the snake bite. The snake bite. Snake bite is kind of like in a coma state, like a ignorant state. Normally, when you born, we like to enjoy this material world, and that is what we born. We think like that, and we want whatever the material opulence, prestige, and all those things. We think that way, and we want to enjoy this world. But once we started hearing, then only say, oh, this is not the purpose. Our purpose is we need to have a pure love for Krishna, and we have to go back. That is why we came. See, we understand all these concepts. Once we understand all the concepts, depending upon our interest, like we slowly started to practice. When we get slowly practicing, we'll get that pleasure, that like peacefulness and happiness. That gives us confirmation. Okay, this process is good, and we'll start our devotion seriously. So it's really the hearing is very, very important for advancement and starting everything.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Looks like Rachana Mataji joined us just now. Welcome,
yes, Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, we read, taking turns, we read Techniques of Hearing and Remembering, 10th chapter.
Okay,
we discussed the first section, hearing, going like section by section, like that.
Sure, Mataji. Sure, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And next one is expecting the Lord's mercy. This section is talking about one of the Srimad Bhagavatam verse, actually. I think gopis chant this, Tadenu Kampam Susumikshamano. That verse says that whatever is coming in my life, sufferings, that is because of the past activity that I have done. I patiently tolerate that. My Lord, I patiently tolerate that. Uh, uh, and continue to perform devotional service with a satisfied mood. That verse, 10th canto 14th chapter verse 8, actually, if anybody can open that, we can read that verse and translation. Trying to go to Vedabase to open that. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 8. Okay, got it. Tatenukampam susumikshmano भुञ्जान एवात्मकृतं विपाकं हृत्वा क्वपुभिर्विदतान्नमस्ते जीवेतयो मुक्तिपदे सदाय भाक्. That Sadhaya Bhak also Prabhupada, Dhaya Bhak also Prabhupada mentioned. The rightful heir, Dhaya Bhak means. Okay, my dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. That is the verse basically Prabhupada is mentioning very beautifully here. Is there any more comments or points that any of you like to discuss on this section? Then we will move on to the next one, otherwise remembrance.
Again, normally this is advanced stage. Normally any problems comes, we won't let go. Okay, normally we try to react to it. Say,
Yes,
say the other Prabhupada explaining the Brahmana is very poor. He is not. But when we are in the situation, okay, we'll go to some course, we'll take course, and we'll see, try to find a solution for it. Like I say, if I'm poor, okay, let's work on it, and we'll achieve. And so, it's difficult to go to that. Again, if you're in pure devotional service, our main purpose is only devotion. In that sense, we can ignore.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Rightful claim, that is giving hope.
Yeah. Remembering this verse also gives us a lot of strength if there any difficulty.
Yes.
And Krishna gives intelligence also, maybe to come out of that situation. That can happen too.
Yes. So. That way you have to take it. Yes. Normally, life is always mentioned like suffering and happiness comes. So we face a lot of difficulties. So at the time it reminds us why we are suffering is because of past karma. they are reaping their reactions. So, yeah, so,
Yeah,
other
going through the
emotion.
situation.
Yeah, it will be depression. Like sometimes people will get depressed and all those.
Yeah, yeah. This nectar, these kind of verses, Srimad Bhagavatam, nectar of devotion. Maharaj books also. The way he went through journey home. Um, any situation, we get solace from by reading what he went through. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the remembrance then. Would anybody would like to share on this section, remembrance?
So today is Narsimha Chaturthi, and the best example for remembrance is Prahlad Maharaj.
Yeah.
In all situation, Prahlad Maharaj constantly remembered Vishnu, and he was protected.
Simply, there is a sentence here. Simply by remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities become eligible for all kinds of auspiciousness. Therefore, let me always remember the Lord, who is an unborn and eternal. So that's the essence of this section.
Last sentence also, it's nice. Mataji.
Read, Mataji, read that one.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because if someone remembers him either at the time of death or during his span of life, he becomes freed from all sinful reactions.
Jai. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Usually we think that only at the time of death, then I'm able to remember at the right time of death, but during his lifespan also, if we remember Krishna, this can be
Yeah,
hopeful sentence.
yeah. And the next long thing, next remaining section is about meditation. Tanya Mataji, you
Mataji,
are
just one
quiet.
thing. They talk about meditating on the form of Vishnu because they say that Krishna is in the form of Vishnu as Paramatma. But as a Krishna devotee, we usually meditate either focus on the hearing of the name or meditate on the Shyam Sundar form of Krishna
Krishna.
because that's what we are used to seeing. What do you have to say about that?
Whichever form attracts you the most,
Yes.
meditate on that form. And later on it's mentioned about services also. If we are in a state to perform physically, financially, if we are able to perform, otherwise we can meditate on performing. That also gives the equal merit. That is very
Yes, Mataji, who was the with Prabhupada there was this Yamuna Mataji, right? When she was sick,
yes.
she cooked many or made many offerings while she was in bed, and then they wrote a book on all the offerings that she had prepared in her mind. So I think it's similar.
I was remembering the same actually, Tanya Mataji, when we were
Okay.
reading this. Yamuna Mataji, we heard that, right? Like she would do that. She is very dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada,
Right.
very talented Mataji. The Govinda Madipurusham during the Shringar Darshan that they play in all temples is sung by this Yamuna Mataji.
Right. Yes. Yes. Oh, is it? It's her voice.
And she had a talent of calligraphy. She could those days when they do Bhaktisastri course, she would prepare certificates with her calligraphy skill. With beautiful handwriting, she would make certificates for the devotees.
Mataji, I don't know how many of the Bhakti Shastri questionnaires or I have completed. I'm not sure. Is there any place where somebody has all the questions from the different books that they have asked so far, so I can see if I missed any? Or has
I know
Prabhuji?
couple of places. I have to look too first before
Okay.
sending. Okay. I can send you couple of links. I think Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, I don't know if there are online questionnaires, but he has complete course, recorded course of Bhakti Shastra.
Yes, I know.
And ISKCON Depository
So,
has, for every book, Bhagavad Gita, chapter by chapter, questionnaires are there to check our understanding. I don't know if they are there
yes.
for every book, like
So,
that
Mataji,
Nectar of Devotion.
the Bhakti Shastri certificates are given after you complete the whole course, or is it given from for every book we complete? Like, say, completed Bhakti Shastri for Bhagavad Gita, say, for example, or
No. For all four books together, one certificate.
Acha, all four books. Okay. So, this is the last book of ours?
Yeah. We are in the middle of, yes.
Okay.
Shubhadra Rani Mataji confirmed that not whole book is in the syllabus.
Oh, okay.
Last time Mani Prabhuji showed everything, Mataji. Mani Prabhuji confirmed that part 1 is included in Bhakti Shastri course, and we finished half of the part.
Okay. I think there are two parts of Bhakti Shastri. So the questions that Prabhuji was sending us is the same as what is in the Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's Bhakti Shastri course. Is it the same questions?
I don't know. That I don't know. We can confirm with him when he is back.
Yeah, till Bhagavad Gita he sent, I think. We completed all the questionnaires from Bhagavad Gita. And then letter of instructions from starting from that, we didn't get any questions.
I feel if we don't get, then we will forget everything. But
We
anyway,
can check with him. Yeah.
if he can send us the question, it'll be nice.
This pastime also here, that Brahmana's pastime is very nice pastime.
Yes. I've heard it somewhere before. I don't know. Is there
Many
any
devotees.
name of this Brahmana Mataji?
I don't know, but we hear Rupa Goswami would do similar thing.
Okay.
Goswamis.
He's Acharya.
Yeah. So yes. Anything else would you like? Rathayatra Prabhu.
In our situation, Mataji, we should not take advantage. We should not think, okay, let me meditate and do offering. No, we have to do it.
If we are able to do, yeah, we should.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yes. Were you about to say something, Tanya Mataji?
Yeah, no, nothing. I don't know what time you're planning to finish, but I had missed half of the last chapter from circumambulating the temple and Archana in Sanskrit. But I don't know if you could give like a 5-7 minute recap on that.
I missed it last week too. I was in Detroit.
Okay. Anybody else here would like to just quickly give us a recap on what was discussed? It was from bowing down in honor of the deity. Page 75.
Last week, actually, Radhayatra, myself, and Subhadra Mataji, we are reading and we're not we are reading Mataji and discussing, but
Oh, you were just revising?
yeah, just we are reading. We read through the whole chapter.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, then with that we will also just do that. Then that's okay.
Okay, it's anyway 9:30. If anything else is there on this chapter, we will do. Otherwise, we can conclude for today.
Yes, thank you, Mataji, and happy Narsimhadev.
Yeah, thank you so much, and happy Narshing Chaturdashi to all of you.
Mataji, what do we have to do today? Like we are fasting, but other than that, what else?
Different devotees do different things. We are planning to go to temple. There is Narshing Dev Abhishek. There is Yajna before that.
Okay.
And that's what we are planning to do.
What time? That is in the evening?
Yeah, we will go sometime in the afternoon.
Okay. Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Have a
Have a
wonderful
nice
day.
day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Dandavat pranam. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyo vaishnavyo. Hare Hare Krishna. Jai.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much.